Did you guys miss me? This is Nate, lead commissioner of the NPBF-D League, here to bring you season 9 of the NPBF-D League. Um, I am ecstatic as this is our swan song to Generation 8. But for the second time in D League history, I am not alone. I have with me the one of our other lovely commissioners, coach of the Greenwich Giratinas, Alex. How are you, Alex?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here, Nate.
I know last season was the first season that I really got you guys involved in, watching the D Leaguers battle and kind of taking your input. So this season, we're going to try to have you guys input all season long, from draft
Love it.
analysis to the finals. Um, so as I stated, this is our swan song to Generation 8. Um, we are doing things a little bit different. Main League has Dynamax. They have D moves, correct?
Yeah, we have
You
Z
got,
moves.
and they have Megas. D League, we have Ubers and Megas. We have our Ubers, which are divided into tiers A and B. And we have our megas, which are divided into tiers S, A, and B. S tier megas, of course, you have to give up your Uber slot, but your Uber slot is able to become any tier, but it's locked into that tier until you drop that S tier mega. The only megas that are not included are, of course, both Mewtwo megas and Mega Rayquaza. There's no balancing them at all.
No.
But here we are. We are currently on our way through week 1. But we are here for the draft analysis, looking at everyone's teams, seeing how they drafted, seeing what choices they could have made, and just seeing how they rank against everyone else. We are going to start with the Ruby division. And who's our first coach? DC of the Crimson Slayer Fairies. So, DC has drafted the Dialga, the Kanto Zapdos, the Ranunculus, the Zarude, the Primarina, the Runagiris, the Magmortar, the Cryogonal. That's such a weird name.
Yeah.
The Unpheasant, the Relicanth with the Mega Lopunny. What are your thoughts, Alex?
Um. On. Do you want my honest thoughts?
This is all honesty here.
So like, CC's got a really good type coverage. There's really no overlap, which is good. The problem that I see is that to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit I don't know anything about Gen 7 and 8 outside of draft, and even then, I don't know. To me, it seems like outside of her Uber and her Mega, she doesn't really have anything all that threatening.
No, CC's team is a lot more balanced. I'm trying to, before I make my statement. So her fire, water, grass core consists of Magmortar, Primarina, and Zarude. Zarude is a really fast grass type that came out of Gen 8, which is okay for being a tier 2. I know there are other grass types that probably could have been taken, but I think with her position in the draft, Zarude came to her, and after that, she was going to have to change her whole draft plan to pick up another grass type. I always love Primarina. Primarina is one of like 3 fairies that if I can grab it without sacrificing a slot, I wouldn't mind having it. It does come in and almost click buttons. Almost.
Almost.
I'm not a fan of Magmortar. Um, at that point, I would just go and grab like Flareon, possibly,
I
or
wouldn't say that.
an, I mean
Actually, you know what?
Magmortar.
You know what? Maybe I would, because you know what? You know what? Guts, flame charge ain't anything to laugh at.
Same with Guts, Facade.
That's true. Because but I don't know. Magmortar has some really good coverage. But I used its cousin Electivire in the last season of the NPBF main league, and let's just say these two haven't aged that well past 4th and 5th gen, maybe 6th gen.
Well, maybe they get some love in Gen 9.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Okay, I was wrong. Relicanth is doubling up on water. I feel like Relicanth is literally never going to come because Primarina's there. Well, like, why would you ever bring
Mhm.
Relicanth with Primarina? Unpheasant is actual crap.
I mean, honestly, unless if I'm not mistaken, Runigiris doesn't get rocks. So I think Relicanth is probably her only rock setter.
Does Dialga not get rocks?
I think. Let's see.
It must. It must.
It has to get rocks.
Just
That
because
it
of
would make
fourth gen.
sense. Let's see. I'm pulling up Showdown now. See if we can discover this. Dialga. Yeah. All right. Dialga. Yeah, Dialga gets stealth rocks. But again, are you really putting stealth rocks on your Uber?
You might.
Honestly, I think having Dialga become a setup mon and sacrificing that fourth move slot might be detrimental when Dialga usually has all of its coverage moves.
I guess, but I mean, you say that, but you see people run Scarf Terrakion with Stealth Rocks in the past, so
You know what? I think last season I ran actually I didn't have rocks, but I ran Scarf Morpeko with light screen.
exactly.
So okay.
You fit
I
stuff in where
returned
you
my
need
last
to at
week.
times. I mean, maybe she does bring Relicanth. I don't know. I just feel like because like that's the other thing about CC's team. Dialga, Zarude,
Hmm.
Cryogonal, Relicanth, Megalopunny. What do they all have in common?
Fighting weakness.
Yeah. Granted,
I
the
mean,
other half of her team is either resists it or is immune to it, but still.
but I mean, look at the other side. Zapdos K, Zarude, Runigiris, Unpheasant. What are they all weak to?
Zapdos, Unpheasant, and they're all weak to ice.
Same with Zarude and Runigiris.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she has
yeah.
two major weaknesses that a lot of mons get Ice Beam, Ice
Yeah.
Shard, Ice Crash.
And she only has, well, she's got 3 ice resistant Primarina, Mag, Mortar, and Cryogonal. But,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I think as long as she can cover that ice weakness, her team should do well.
I guess,
Um,
you know what the big thing is for me? You know what the real big thing is for me? I don't know. I don't actually know how fast Unpheasant is. Cryogonal doesn't count because it's so, well, Cryogonal and Zarude are so frail. But like, unless Unpheasant has what is faster than I know, because I don't actually know anything about Unpheasant, because why would I ever use Unpheasant? She's only got
mhm.
3 things over base 100 speed.
On Pheasant's base 93.
Okay, so she's only got 3 things over base 100 speed in Zarude, who is fragile, Cryogonal, who's even more fragile and weak to everything,
Mhm.
and Megalopunny, who actually no Megalopunny. You know what? I don't know. It's actually not that fragile. It's surprisingly bulky, I think, once it megas.
Well, you have to remember this season the only banned moves in D League are Z moves and Omni Boost. So Megalopunny gets his niche back with Return, which I know a lot of people were excited to hear about. Same with Hidden Power.
Yeah, that'll be good for Primarina and Zapdos and Ryun.
But any final thoughts about CC's team?
Um, I mean, upon further inspection, I can see more of the balance. I wish her team had a better fire type.
Well, let's see
And
what
looking
fire
at her
type this team.
team, I also think that despite like I'm sure one of the reasons she picked up Cryo is because it can spin and defog. I have a sneaking suspicion that with the way her team is built, Zapdos is going to be forced to run defog most weeks.
So I went to look back at the tier list. Torkoal in tier 3 is available.
Yeah, but she shouldn't drop Primarina. Maybe she could
I was
afford to
think
drop Runerigus,
I was thinking of Rune Regis.
and then she
That
could
means
grab a
she won't have a
decent
ghost
Ghost or
type.
Ground type in tier 4. Because there's a lot of good ghost
Um,
types in the lower tiers.
oh yeah, so Dusclops is still available. Dusknoir is still available. Let's
That's some
see.
heat.
I mean, even Turtonator in tier 4 isn't a bad fire type.
No, it's not. It is another dragon. It's another dragon that also, like, Dialga's weak to ground, though, so I don't know how.
Mm,
So I don't think that's probably not a good. That's not good. I think Torkoal would be better.
Torkoal. Yeah, I mean, Dusclops is extremely bulky. It doesn't get any type of spinning or defogging. It's just really, really bulky.
Yeah, but Runerigus doesn't either.
No, outside of its wanderer
Spin block.
ability.
Yeah, like it doesn't.
I
So
don't know.
I think
I'm
I
curious to see
would
what she
give.
does.
Are we grading the teams too?
Yeah, we can grade the teams.
Um, I think I'd give CC a B or a B minus.
I agree. I give her a B.
Like, I don't know, just okay. And now that we've like looked at it more, because that was just a glance, like I get it, it's balanced, but I feel like the lack of speed is really gonna be a hindrance. And
Mhm.
I think she needs a better fire type. She doesn't have no, she has a Mega Lopunny. What am I talking about? She has a fighting type. She's got one of the best fighting types. I think, and I think her widespread weaknesses in fighting and ice, despite all the fighting like resists and immunities she has, I think that's gonna be a problem for her.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, once Runegaris, once the counters to fighting types go down, there's not much
Yeah,
that's going to
like a
stop them.
Terrakion runs wild on this team.
Hmm.
I don't know who has Terrakion or if anyone even drafted Terrakion, but if you think your matchup is with CC's a
Nope,
little.
Terrakion is free.
There's also a tier 1, and there's better tier 1s out there than Terrakion.
Oh yeah, but let's go ahead and move on to Jeremy. Jeremy is one of the goons coming into NPBF this season, and his team is Eternus, Corviknight, Entei, Savali, Gardevoir, Araquanid, Morpeko, Crawdilly, Reggie Ice, Golurk with a Mega Glade. First impressions.
I look at this team and I see everything that you just said about CC, except I actually agree with it. Well,
Yep.
that's actually not true. I think I think it's pretty good. I see the same issue that CC had, the difference being he's got Sticky Web to mitigate the lack of speed,
Mm-hmm.
which was a brilliant pickup for him, because Gallade 110 speed is really good, but it gets a lot of Scarfers outspeed it. It's very easy to get outsped by Scarfers and other megas and stuff. Uh, so Valley will like having that for setup. Entei will love having that. Gardevoir will love Morpeko. Everything's gonna love having that, except for like Cradily and Regice and Golurk because they're slow as absolute shit. I don't actually, and I have no idea what Eternatus's stats are because I haven't looked at that thing since catching it in Sword and Shield.
Freaking Jeff. Base 130 speed,
It's base of 30 speed. Holy shit.
base 140 HP, and base 145 special attack. Everything else is sub 95.
I don't think you should have. Mega Gallade should have been in Mega B. I think it probably should have been in Mega A because Mega Gallade's real good, and getting that and Eternatus is a steal.
There's a lot of teams like that. After I went back and started looking at the teams, I'm like, I did not balance this enough.
No, I don't think he probably did. I think that's why people were okay taking Uber A's.
I don't know. We had 3 people take S Ubers. I mean S tier megas.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't
There
wait to see
one
those.
thing that I see though that is an issue is that does Savali get defog?
Um I don't think so. I think it might get
I th
rapid
I
spin.
thought it got defog.
Let's see.
Regardless, regardless, if that
It
is the
does.
case, it does get
It
defogged.
gets it gets default.
So he's got two defoggers in Corviknight and Silvally. You obviously don't want to watch this. We obviously don't want to watch. You don't want to run defog on Silvally. You could, but like Silvally's so good offensively.
Hmm.
So like obviously you got to bring Corviknight, but I also think that for a team that's going to end, I think this team is going to be reliant on its sticky webs. I think Jeremy needs spinner.
So Morpeko gets rapid spin,
It does get rapid spin. Okay, so that's better. That's better.
but Morpeko has a speed boosting ability already.
Well, I don't
Um,
I don't care so much about the rapid spin speed boost. I care more about the fact that he wants to keep hazards off his side of the field, but keep webs on his opponent's side.
True. Let's see, Crawdaddy. I think he has a couple of spinners. Nah, I think it's just Morpeko.
No,
But
yeah, it's just more Pecco.
no, I definitely like I love Corviknight. Corviknight has become one of my favorite flying steel types. I like Corviknight more than I like Skarmory.
Why? Is it
So
just that it does more?
I've always played a more offensive style, and if I can get rocks out, cool. If not, I'm gonna let my opponent spend their time trying to stack hazards, and I'm just gonna boost. Plus, Corviknight has the mirror armor ability, so any negative stats are gonna go to my opponent instead of me.
I see.
I mean, plus he has Eternus waiting in the wing to pick up and clean up any kills. Um, Mega Gallade's gonna clean up. So it's really gonna come down to him keeping webs out and just weakening his opponent's team to let his major sweepers come in and clean up.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have said something when I saw Gallade in Mega as a Mega B because it looks like he just took candy from a baby with this draft.
Oh, just wait till you see the rest of these.
Oh no. So what do we
Like I
want to
said,
grade to this? What do we want to grade this?
I'd give it I give it a B plus. Not quite A, only because I like Credilli, but not in the sense of I think he grabbed it because he didn't have a grass type. I mean, he has Savali, which
Can
can
be a
become a
grass
grass
type,
type
but you don't want
whenever.
to rely on it. I mean, Credilli's good though because it gets Storm Drain and
Hmm.
it can stall out. It's good. I just think that I don't know. I think it's a good pick. I mean, I haven't had nearly as much to say about this team as CC's, but that's just kind of because, like, I don't know, the team kind of covers itself. I'd give it a B plus or an A minus.
Okay. All right. We get to move on to
Ooh, Scott and the Cricket Tots.
yeah. This is James's boy. He was in main league for Mono. He took some time off and now he's back.
Yeah,
So Scott has Ho-Oh, Clefable, Metagross, Gyarados, Regieleki, Whimsicott, Xatu, Mudsdale, Lapras, Thievul with Mega Charizard X. First
this
impressions.
team is really weak to Stealth Rock.
This team does not like rocks at all.
You know, Ho-Oh's 4 times weak. Charizard is 4 times weak before it Megas. Um,
Gyarados.
Gyarados, Xatu, Lapras.
He has a lot. He has a lot of flying types.
Well, he's got
No,
two,
he's
three,
got
three because Gyarados. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. What else do I think about this team?
it's it's got a good speed tier.
What's Zatu's speed? Is it over 100?
Let's check. Xatu. I want to say if it is over 100, it's base 95.
Okay, so he's got two things over base 100 then, and Charizard's sitting right there at base 100, and those being
Mhm.
Regieleki and Whimsicott. Which, like, you could run an offensive Whimsicott. I just don't know if Scott's going to.
Well, I mean, he has both Clefable and Whimsicott.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Whimsicott will be his screen setter, and then
He gets
Clefable will be
Defog,
his
right?
offensive. Hmm?
He does have a good chunk of removal. Like, Ho-Oh can defog. Regieleki spins because it's one of the only things Regieleki does. Whimsicott, I think, defogs now. Xatu can defog and has magic bounce. Charizard can defog if you really need it to.
Yeah. I mean, he has good removal.
He's got good removal. Actually, there is a, okay, no, never mind. It's not nearly as widespread as I thought it was. I was about to say I was about to say he's got a fighting weakness, but he's actually only got two things weak to fighting.
Hmm. No, he doesn't really have any major glaring weaknesses. But I do think he's going to be forced to run Regieleki a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Um, I wonder why he picked, I guess it was for the grass typing is why he got Whimsicott. I don't know. I feel like his team needs a better grass type.
Well, I can actually check the draft to see when he picked up Whimsicott. So Scott drafted Whimsicott.
Like his Fairy Dragon Steel Core is real good with Clef Metagross Charizard.
Yeah,
Although
he
half
drafted
although they're both weak
he
to
drafted
ground.
Whimsicott round 6.
Okay.
So that's after he finished his Dragon Fairy Steel Core.
Okay.
So he possibly could have picked up a better grass type.
He could have. I'm sure he grabbed Gyarados because of James. I I gotta tell you, man. I gotta tell you, like Gyarados. I think there are with the bulk that Scott has, as well as having Lapras. I think one of those can go. I don't think you need two water types, let alone that are both weak to rock.
No, he doesn't. He
And
really doesn't.
honestly, Gyarados, he's gonna find Gyarados is gonna be crossing over a lot with what Charizard wants to do, and honestly, even sometimes what Metagross wants to do.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, you got Boots in Gen 8, but I had Gyarados last season, and half the time, other than if I wasn't looking to run it bulky, I just looked at it and was like, I wish you were for Alligator. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't know. I think he's got plenty of bulk. I was gonna say he could use a bulky water type, but he does have Lapras. I don't know. I
I mean, Suicune is still available, so he could always.
Suicune would be a great pickup because I feel like other than Regieleki, I do feel like the theme of this team specifically is bulky offense. I feel like he's gonna be switching around a lot, and with the rocks weakness he has, I don't think he wants Gyarados. I
Because
think
Gyarados would be
Suicune would
forced to run
be
Boots.
Yeah, I think Suicune would be a great pickup because, like, also if you have Gyarados and you're setting up and you have Boots, whatever, a Lum would be cool or something because that thing gets burned. What are you gonna do? I mean, yeah, Clefable, but like, I don't know. I feel like there is something off about this team. I just can't put my finger on what it is, but to me, it's a really awkward team.
Yeah, Lapras is a good water ice type. It does have good bulk. But Trevenant is also in tier 5, and Trevenant's a pretty good grass ghost type, and it
Yeah,
does give him a spin blocker.
yeah. Honestly, I think if Scott makes some transactions like in tier 2, 3, and 5, it would do him a lot of good. Like Trevenant's a great Pokemon. I think if he drops Lapras for Trevenant, he drops Gyarados for Suicune,
His team becomes
drops
immediately
drops
threatening.
Whimsicott for I don't know what, but for something. I also feel
I
like
mean,
Ho-Oh is kind of redundant with Charizard here.
yeah, like I said, the Uber Bees, I'm looking at it now. Genesect is still free. Cinderace is still free. Nagandel, Palkia, both Kirums
Maybe
are still free.
maybe Naganadel would be good just because of the poison typing, and he actually Naganadel would actually be really good because aside from Clefable and Regieleki, he doesn't have anything on the special side that wants to set up and go in.
Hmm.
I think Naganadel would be a really good pick because that Dragon Poison is gonna on the special side is gonna conflict with Charizard a lot less than Ho-Oh and Charizard, with Ho-Oh being a physical based,
Fire type.
yeah, which is the same as Charizard. I'm honestly just not a big fan of Ho-Oh,
Yeah, Ho only works if you go complete bulk.
which
When
this
I
team
did,
doesn't. This team has an identity crisis.
yeah, when I did Eric's league, I went complete bulk. I had a gorgeous regenerator core, and that's the only reason why Ho worked because I could rotate among the three
Hmm.
and just annoy opponents.
Right on.
I honestly would give this. I would just give this a B. It
I
has some
wouldn't.
issues.
That's way more generous.
What would you give it?
I'd give it a C, maybe a C minus. But finish your thought. I'd like to know why you think it's a B.
Um, because outside of its identity crisis, breaking through Metagross and Clefable is already going to be a task for whoever decides to build for it. Unfortunately, Ho is going to come every week. Mega Charizard X is going to come. Clefable, Regieleki, and then whoever he decides to have in the final two spots. So he's going to break through a lot of teams with those four. We're going to see the same four probably until he makes a couple of changes.
Yeah, but that's exactly why I don't think it can be in the Bs, because if the team is going to be that predictable, then it's going to be easy to plan for.
True, and he doesn't have anything to really mitigate the rock weakness.
Yeah, like his removal, all his removal is weak to rocks, except for Whimsicott.
Yeah, no, that's a bad deal. Yeah,
Yeah, I would give it a
see,
C, maybe a C minus, just
nah,
because it has the identity crisis. If he makes some of the moves, if he makes some good moves, like it could be the ones you and I have discussed, it could be some other ones, but I think once he fixes this team's identity crisis and kind of gets all the right pieces, then I think it becomes a BB plus.
okay, I can agree with that.
Like I think the potential is there in this team. I just think he's got to make a few changes first.
Hmm. I'm pretty sure after week one and after everyone kind of watched the video and they see how their team plays, there's going to be a lot more transactions for definitely going to be some transactions because there's a lot of mons on on the free agency that didn't get drafted that I'm surprised didn't get drafted. I'm surprised for the first time that Yevatol did not get picked.
Yeah, yeah, I am too, actually.
Someone opted to pick Mewtwo, which isn't a bad psychic type, but
Mewtwo's really good.
Mewtwo is really good. But Mewtwo doesn't really have a lot of bulk to it. Its megas are phenomenally better.
Yeah, but I mean, there's plenty of Pokemon like that. Mewtwo's still scary. It has the second highest, doesn't it? Yeah, it has the second highest base stat total of non-megas besides Arceus and Mega Ray.
Oh, freaking the Turnus.
Yeah. So like Mewtwo's
Okay,
still good. Mewtwo's good. I'm fine with it. But
so
I mean we'll look at that guy's team when we get there, but I'm not against picking Mewtwo like conceptually. I think it's a good pick.
so to round out the Ruby division, we have Matthew and the Sunny Shore Strikers. Matthew's been here for a few seasons now, and he's improved every season. He drafted Tornadus Therian as he decided to pick up an S tier mega. So his Uber tier will actually be tier one for the season unless he changes his mega. Dragapult, Grimmsnarl, Kanto Moltres, Rabombi, Swampert, Diancie, Cursola, his famed Wishy-Washy, Togedemaru with Mega Lucario. Thoughts?
Um, pretty good Fairy Dragon Steel. Doesn't have a fire. He doesn't have a complete fire water grass, but you know what? You don't always need one.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he's got two steel types actually. I didn't realize that at first. Um, and two fairy types. Okay. two flying types.
He doubled up on a lot of types.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Two water
did.
types.
Yeah, but they do really different things.
But I mean, what is Swampert's niche when it's not under rain?
Well, that's the mega. Like this one is usually just like bulky, but you know, it can flip turn, it can actually, you know what? I don't actually know what normal Swampert does if you're not running it bulky. Does it give rapid spin this gen? I feel like it did. Am I crazy?
Let me see. Let me check Swampert because honestly, would you take Swampert over Toad?
Um, I'm not sure. I would have to compare their move pools and their base stat totals because you know they both are rocks. They both have the grass weakness. Although Seismitoad having both poison touch and water absorb is really good.
So Swampert's base stat total is 535.
Hmm.
Toad is base 509.
Yeah, I mean like I would have to compare like the individual stats and see what the distributions are.
Mm-hmm. But
Oh, and he doubled up on fairies. Did I say that already?
mhm. Yeah,
So
he's got a
I
lot of double types.
yeah. Um, I mean Dragapult Mega Lucario is a really scary combination.
Grimmsnarl, Dragapult, and Mega Lucario is a scary combination.
Yeah, it is because Grimmsnarl set up the screens, and then Lucario that makes up for how frail Lucario is. It can just start setting up swords dances or nasty plots and just go to work, just go to town on you.
Yeah, I mean Grimmsnarl by itself is still nothing to gawk at.
Yeah. Um, I like that he has the webs. I wish he had a spinner because he's got the webs with Rabambi.
Actually, I think he might run pseudo rain.
Can he? Oh, I mean, he could manually set it up. Yeah, but Swampert, what's Swampert's hidden ability? Because it doesn't have
Damn,
Swift. Oh, so he just can't get exploded. Well, yeah, so I'm not sure why he would run Rain then, because he doesn't have Swift Swim.
I would probably if he does want to run pseudo rain, I would probably swap Swampert for Toad since it gets
He does get Swift
Swift
Swim.
Swim.
That would be good. I guess Seismitoad would allow him more versatility.
Hmm. I mean, Poison
Oh, he
Touch,
doubled up on
Water
Ghost
Absorb.
types. I didn't even realize that.
Oh yeah, because Cursola and Dragapult.
Yeah. I mean, I like Cursula. I like Cursula a lot. It's a good
Oh,
Pokemon. I
oh,
just,
it's bulky. It gets rocks. It's a menace to deal with.
yeah. Um, I feel like there are just, I don't know. I feel like there's some things that could be better. Like we've discussed Swampert. I'm not sure. He's actually got like Rabambi. I get it. You know, I get Rabambi, but I feel like having both Rabambi and Grimmsnarl is a waste of one of your slots.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure how I feel about doubling up on those two. Like, doubling up on certain types is good. Like, having a physical dragon and a special dragon, that's a good thing to have. As
Hmm.
just as an example. Um, but you don't want to. I mean, they don't do the same thing at all. But I feel like either one of these are things I could see him wanting to run most weeks, but I would not want to run both of them ever together.
Well, seeing as he has three fairies, I'm assuming he wants to run Rabambi for webs.
Yeah, and then yeah, I forgot about Deancey.
I would
Man,
probably swap out Rabambi for Galvantula as it gets webs.
yeah.
It's a,
Oh, is
it's
Galvantula still
another
on the board?
Galvantula is still on the board.
And then he could drop Togedemaru for something else.
Hmm. But I mean, Togedemaru, what is Togedemaru's base speed? Because I don't think he has a lot of speed outside of.
His speed
No,
is in,
Togedemaru is base 96.
yeah, like I'm sure there's other good electric types on the board, even if they're not as fast, because you know you got Mega Lucario, you got Dragapult, you got. Well, we're talking about dropping Rabambi for Galvantula, but like that's still fast. I think
Hmm.
it's a slow team, but he has the webs to mitigate it. I don't like that all of his removal is weak to rocks.
Yeah.
You know, and Tornadus and Moltres. Granted, boots are a thing. Boots on Tornadus is cool. I don't know if I feel like having to run boots on Moltres all the time really, hurts it.
It doesn't help it.
No. I, I, hmm. I wonder if there was a better fire type he could have grabbed.
Let's see when he drafted Moltres. I want to say he grabbed Moltres late.
He would have to have, right?
I'm checking the draft now. He grabbed Moltres in round 6 as well. It seems like we're going to be talking about round 6 a lot.
Oh no.
Yeah, round 6 he grabbed Moltres.
Okay.
Final thoughts
Um,
and a grade.
Final grade, I'd give it B minus. Like
Yeah,
the good stuff that's here is really good. I just think there's some stuff that's confusing. I just think there's some stuff with, I think there's some mons he's just realistically not gonna be able to find room for because he has things of that same type that he's gonna want to bring more.
Mhm. Yeah, I think swapping out a couple things, and then trying to find, I would say figuring out what the other identity of the team is
Yeah.
will definitely help because he loves Wishy-Washy. He has made that abundantly clear that Wishy-Washy is like Sylveon to you.
Hey
It's
man.
someone that he feels confident with. Um, but all right, we are moving out of the Ruby division into the Emerald division. And first up is our returning D-League person, Alan, in the medals.
Hmm.
Alan has drafted Zygarde Complete, Tapu Lele, Melodic, Arcanine, Umbreon, Rotomo, Drifblim, Galarian Mr. Mime, Dottler, Dubwool, and Mega Aggron. Alex, this team is fat.
Yeah, I think aside from the fact that he drafted, is Dottler a psychic type yet? I think it is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think aside from the fact that he drafted 3 psychic types, that this is the best team we've seen so far.
It's a bug psychic type with Swarm, Compound Eyes, and Telepathy.
Yeah, I don't know what Dottler does for this team, but like, other than the fact that he's got 3 psychic types, is the best team we've seen, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah,
we've talked a
it's,
lot about speed being an issue for the other teams, but those are teams that aren't trying to be slow, bulky offense. This team is very much trying to be slow, bulky offense.
I mean, outside of Tapu Lele and Zygarde Complete, everything is just, it's going to take a couple of hits.
Yeah, I mean, Zarya Complete's gonna take a couple hits before that goes down too.
True. But I definitely like the slow, methodical. I love his fire, water, grass core.
Firewater Grass Core is really good. Fairy, he doesn't have a dragon.
Yeah,
No,
he does.
Zygarde. I was looking at not the top. His Fairy Dragon
Steel.
Steel Core is also good. The only thing that really throws me for a loop here is Dottler.
Let's see. When
Like,
did
I'm
he
not
draft
100%
Doppler?
sure what it does here for this team.
Yeah, I think Dottler was a late. I think Dottler was one of
Yeah,
his transactions.
it would have to be a late pick just because, you know, NFE and whatnot.
Hmm. But yeah, no, the team is definitely solid. Um, Teams are gonna have a hard time breaking it.
Yeah, yeah. Again, my only real complaint with it is the 3 psychic types, but like,
Hmm.
and also that like his only removal is Mr. Mime, who's weak to rocks,
No.
and Rotom, and Drifblim gets defog, but like it's weak to rocks too.
So yeah, all of his removal are weak to rocks.
Yeah, and also, so like he's got the 3 psychic types, but he does also have a ghost type, so that is 4 things that are weak to ghost and dark type,
Hmm.
with just Umbreon as his only resist.
Yeah. But I
So
know Alan definitely he plays the long game, so I'm excited to see, what other people come up with to try to mitigate and try to take
Yeah.
advantage of his 3 psychic types.
Yeah.
So, what would you give this team? I like it. I give it B plus, A minus.
Well, considering I've said that this is the best team we've seen so far, and I gave Jeremy a B plus A minus. I can't I can't even say that it's a B plus if I because I do think this is I mean I like this team better than Jeremy, so I think I would just give it an A minus.
Okay.
I think the only thing that's keeping it from being an A is the 3 psychic types and a ghost type.
hmm Which again, I'm sure when after people watch the video, they're gonna go back through free agency.
Yeah.
Week 1 is really gonna be that testing period for teams to see what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
But you're gonna love the next team.
I don't know if I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but looking at it, I think you're being sarcastic.
We have Jaden and the Victinis, another goon who decided to come and join us this season. He has Necrozma, Duskmane, Thunderous T, Incineroar, Galarian Moltres, Indeedee, Orbeetle, Spiritomb, Arctovish, Thwackey, Meowstic, and Mega Abomasnow.
My thoughts are about the team and not the coach that has this team and how the team is going to perform specifically in this hand. This is objective and not about the team. Jaden, why the fuck do you draft Psychic? Try to draft Mono Psychic all the goddamn time. Like I know it works for him. It works for him, and that's great. Good for Jaden. I'm glad you know what works for you. But on paper, I'm strictly talking about this on paper and not how it performs with you. You have Necrozma, Indeedee, Orbeetle, Meowstic, 4 psychic types, and then you have Incineroar, Moltres, and Spiritomb as 3 dark types. There is no dragon for his Fairy Dragon Steel. Is
Wait, does he have a fairy?
No.
No, he doesn't have a fairy either.
Wait. No, he doesn't. He only has a steel type. So that it's and I feel like I don't know why he has Thwackey and Mega Abomasnow together. Also this Mega Abomasnow. I have a lot of respect for Jaden for picking that Mega. That Mega is one of the worst in the game. And I say this from experience.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mega Abomasnow. I think it's really cool design. I think it's got really good stats and really good bulk, and you can make it do a lot of different things. It's too goddamn slow, and it's got too many goddamn weaknesses.
Now, I'm pretty sure the reason he grabbed Mega Abomasnow is for Arctovish.
Fair.
For Slush.
Fair. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't even have a thought on this team because this team is just...
It's a weird team.
Like, at least if he had gone pure mono psychic, like I know he has done in the past, I could grade it. I feel like I would have a better grasp on it.
Mm.
I'm not sure why both of his tier 2s are dark. I mean, they do different things, mind you. You know, Incineroar.
Oh, yeah, one physical, one special.
Incineroar
one
can pivot. Can be bulky. Thunderous is only hazard removal. Does Thunderous get Defog? Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Honestly, I would just go full. I would go full psychic.
I would go full psychic over this Frankenstein ass team.
I would 100% just go full psychic. I mean, what psychic mega is left?
Well, he would need a Mega B.
Yeah, there are no psychic megas. There's a lot of dark megas.
Well, you know, they'll at least fit. I mean, I get it. You know, he wants the hail for Arctovish. Cool. Is Arctovish that good though?
With an Eviolite, it can do some damage.
I mean, it can't use an Eviolite though. It's fully evolved.
Arctovish?
Yes. All the Gen 8 fossils are single Pokemon evolution lines. None of them evolve.
What? I did not know that.
Yeah, they don't evolve. They are just base Pokemon.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah. What do you think about the team? Because I've just ranted and raved about it.
Um, so outside of the psychic, the psychic party, um, he has a lot of pivots. He's gonna be
Yes,
pivoting a lot.
which is
Um,
not good considering that he's got nothing to stop him from taking, short of heavy duty boots, to stop him from taking stealth rocks damage, spikes damage, toxic spikes, whatever his opponent wants to set up.
I mean, outside of Duskmane, everyone's there. People are gonna hard focus Duskmane, and then
I mean,
from
once
there,
Dustmane goes down, this team falls apart. Aside from like Thundurus and his tier twos,
mhm. Honestly, if he goes full psychic, he could take it. He could take advantage
having the
of
terrain.
having the terrain, having the priority block. Um, with having both Meowstic and Indeedee, he'll have screens. Oh, he has the special power. I think he just needs to find a better balance. And I'd pick a bit different Mega, even if you grab Mega Sharpedo, because you don't have to Mega first turn. So grab the speed boost from Mega Sharpedo, Mega Evolve it, because I believe it gets Strong Jaw. Either
Yeah, it gets
Strong Jaw.
strong. It gets strong jaw when it mega evolves.
So then, yeah, having Mega Sharpedo with the speed boost definitely gives him a fast water type that, it breaks things.
Yeah, I think on paper this is probably the worst team at the moment because it doesn't have an identity. It's got a lot of good pieces, and I'm positive that knowing Jaden, this is probably going to actually be a good team.
Hmm.
It's probably going to be a good team.
Oh, without a doubt. I know for a fact a lot of people are going to look at this team. They're going to hard prep Dark and fighting, and he's going to take advantage of the obvious prep and make people pay for it.
Yes, but the whole point of this evaluation is we're not looking at the coach, we're looking just at the team on paper.
On paper, I'll give it a
C minus.
yeah. I was going to say C.
I think it's a C
Only
minus. Again, it'll have a good identity in Jaden's hands, but we're just talking strictly on paper. No hard feelings.
So next we have Floyd and the Baltimore Corviknights. Um, Floyd drafted Xerneas, Tapu Bulu, Halucha, Galarian Slowking, Klefki, Chandelure, Rhyperior, Siglith, Absol, Raichu, and Mega Slowbro. Oh, he has a huge ground weakness outside of no, he has a massive ground weakness.
Hang on. So he's got Slowking, Klefki, Chandelure, Rhyperior, Raichu. So okay, so yeah, like just about half his team. Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty bad.
Siglith and Halucha are the only ones that avoid ground
On
types.
top of Boo resists it.
Yeah, but I mean, like Klefki, Lure, Raichu, the mons that he's going to want to take advantage are just not. His saving grace is Xerneas.
Yeah, yeah. Although, wait, hang on. Yes, although having Tapu Bulu Halucha is pretty cool.
It is, but I remember that got so outplayed so quickly
Like
because
everyone knows what to do. You got yeah, and like I mean, listen, okay, he's got. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with Tapu Bulu just because he has Xerneas, but they do different things. So whatever. Um,
I would have picked a different Tapu.
yeah, no, because the grass type is good, and it
Who
gives
would you
them.
rather have?
Wait, does he?
Coco, Bulu, or Finny?
Hmm.
Who would you rather have? Coco, Bulu, or Finny?
Like me personally?
Just based on what they can do for a team.
Um, I'm gonna drop a hot take. I kind of don't like the
Hmm.
Tapus.
Okay, that's understandable.
I think like I don't like Bulu. I I don't like Feeny doesn't get Heal Bell, right? Like
Nope, it
I
does not get
don't
healed though.
I don't like that it doesn't have
But
Heal Bell. Like I like my fairies to either be able to be offensive or to be a cleric.
hmm
So if a fairy can't be a cleric, it's shit to me. I know objectively that's wrong, but just in terms of the way I play, I don't like that. I guess I would probably, I mean, between the three you mentioned, I would obviously go Coco or Feeny.
hmm
Coco is more how I play. I think,
Offensive with a
yeah,
pivot
I think
because he
with
doesn't
like
really
I
have
think
a
with this
pivot.
team, Coco would have been good because I wouldn't have put Feeny and Slowbro together personally.
Hmm. I mean, he has a lot of type overlapping. He has
Does
three fairies.
he's three
He
fairies?
has
Holy crap!
two psychic types.
Three psychic types.
Oh yeah, he does have three psychic types.
He's got three psychic types. He's got the one electric. He's got the one fighting and fly. He's got two flying types.
Hmm.
He's got plus he's got like one, two, three. He's got four things weak to dark and ghost.
Hmm.
Uh, I think Xerneas carries the team again. I see potential in this team. I I just I don't think three. I think like I could see an argument for keeping Klefki around because you can just use it as a steel type. Although you can't really, you don't. It really is more of a fairy type than a steel type.
Oh yeah.
I do not think Tapu Bulu is worth keeping it as his tier one.
No,
But if
there's
he
so many
does
better
that, he
tier
needs to
ones.
drop Halucha. It's just my opinion. I would try to grab a good and I don't know maybe have a better grass type. I don't know. Absol sucks.
Yeah,
Like Absol is just so bad. It's never gonna come, and if it does, it's just not gonna do anything. Slow King G is really cool, but why do you have Mega Slowbro if you have Slow King G?
he doesn't have
Just
a dragon.
he doesn't have a dragon. Dude, just drop some. If keep Slow King G. Slow King G is really good. Just drop Mega Slowbro. Let Jaden have it. Let Jaden have it. Grab a better Mega B.
I mean,
Um,
Mega Ampharos is there.
grab Mega Ampharos, man. Drop. Well, Raichu's okay.
Raichu is fine, but you're
Yeah,
gonna
but that
run
would be more.
into
Yeah, but we're talking about type overlap. That would be more type overlap, and
it definitely needs some work.
it
Um,
needs some work. But I don't think it's awful. I think I feel like there's more to this team than say uh Scott and the Cricketots.
oh yeah.
I can see more here. I don't think it's as bad as that. I don't think it's as poorly. I don't. I don't want to use all these negative words like bad or poorly put together. I don't think it's as lacking or as having as much of a crisis as that team is.
Hmm.
I just think like I mean
Dropping the something.
outside of Halucha, the team's slow as shit.
It's slow. They're fragile.
Except for except for the brothers Slow and
And
Rhyperior.
Siglif isn't. It has a pretty good bulk to it.
Yeah, but it's not gonna come. I mean, it will come because people will bring things of different type of life, but it's not. It's gonna get overshadowed by Slowbro and Slow King.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. Raichu's cool, getting Lightning Rod, so he can swap it in for electric hits on Hawlucha and Slowbro and Sigilyph.
But I mean, if you're swapping out Halucha, you're losing the boost.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, like, like there's a good effort. He needs a good dragon. I feel like, ultimately, I feel like besides Xerneas, he doesn't have enough offensive presence. I think that's the right thing that's bugging me.
Yeah, Mega Bro isn't super offensive. Um, Bulu gets outclassed extremely quickly in its
Paluch is
offensive
good,
presence.
but it needs that Swords Dance.
Chandelure
Too
has to run a scarf.
It's too slow. It's way too slow. It just dies so easily. Rhyperior is way too slow. Having the 2/4
Yeah.
times weaknesses even with Solid Rock is bad. It's a great Pokemon, don't get me wrong. I actually really like Rhyperior.
So he needs a better offensive presence.
Yeah, like Absol's awful. Just flat out bad. Granted, we didn't talk enough about whoever had Thievul. Whichever one of you guys had Thievul earlier, that might have been CC actually. No, it was CC or Scott. I don't know. It was somebody. Whoever has
It
Thievul
was
drop.
Scott.
Scott dropped Thievul. Thievul is one of the worst Pokemon like ever. Like I like Nickit a lot. Nickit's really really cute. I really really liked it. But Thievul is just bad. Thievul is bad. It should not be on your team.
So grading time. I have to give this a C minus. Um, the lack of the offensive presence. He's gonna go into games, and he's gonna run into teams that have semi bulk and not be able to break them. And they're gonna take once they take out Zernies, he's not gonna be able
He's
to establish that bulk without taking multiple hits.
Yeah. And he doesn't have the bulk himself to make up for the fact that he doesn't have that much offensive presence. I'd say C minus. No one's gone so far as to be in the D's yet.
No.
Not yet.
All right. Now rounding out the Emerald division is Devin and the Magirnas. He has drafted Tapu Koko, Darmanitan G, Mandibuzz, Buzzwold, Blissey, Reggie Draco, Quagsire, Alolan Raichu, Raboot, Crustle, and he grabbed the S tier Mega Gengar.
This is a pretty good team.
At least someone's using the terrain right.
This is a pretty good team.
Yeah, I like it. Has good offensive pressure. It has good bulk.
Good type
He's
variety.
he's gonna annoy people
Yeah.
with Raichu, Alolan, and Reggie Drago.
Oh yeah, he's gonna and Darm G.
And Shadow Tag.
And he's got a Shadow
Shadow
Tag with
Tag.
Mega Gengar. The only thing is the team doesn't have a grass type. Again, I'm of the proponent that of like 2 big cores of those 6 types, I think the grass is the least needed of those types.
It's one that you cannot have, and you're not going to be missing.
Yeah, if as long as your team can like deal with like the water resist and the electric resist and like a ground resist, but which he's got, he's got the ground, he's got the electric immunity in Quagsire. He's got what has he got for ground? He's got the ground immunity in Mandibuzz. He's got water resistances in Reggie Drago.
And Quagsire. Quagsire does get water resistance.
Yeah. Is Raboot allowed to have Libero?
Raboot is allowed to have Libero.
Interesting. The only thing for me is again. Oh no, Tapu Koko is defog. Never mind. I was gonna say Mandibuzz. This is only defogger, but no, he's got Tapu Koko can defog too. Because I was looking at it, I was like, well, you don't really want that with Darm G. You want to make sure you got good removal with Darm G.
But
you know what? This is a really good team. This is a good team.
It's a really good balanced team. Outside of the grass type, I like Reggie Drago as his dragon. I've never used it personally.
Me either.
On paper, it looks like a really good dragon type. If he ever just did decide to pick up another dragon type, tier 2 has, Gudra's still free, Rayquaza still free, Haxorus is still free.
Ooh.
So those 3
Haxorus would actually be pretty good for this team.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure what he drops between Mandibuzz and Buzzwole because I think he needs to keep Mandibuzz.
I'd probably say Buzzwold.
But like he doesn't have a fighting type, and I think this team needs a fighting type. He has no other fighting type, mind you, rather.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of good fighting types in tier 3, aren't there? Or am I crazy?
Hitmonlee.
The Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are in there. Hitmonlee's good.
Hitmontop's good, and he gets a spinner out of it.
Yeah, well, all the Hitmons are spinners.
Kabalions in tier 3. Just see if there's anyone else.
He doesn't have a
Starfetch'd.
steel type.
He doesn't?
He doesn't have a steel type.
Mm.
Cobalion would be pretty good on this team.
Kabalion would fill that spot for him.
I kind of like the idea of him dropping Reggie Drago and Bustle and picking up Cobalion and Haxorus.
And that'll completely balance out and cover all his types.
And besides the grass, but again, I
It's
mean,
not a grass is not a huge detriment.
no. Oh, you know what? He could totally drop Buzzwole because he's got Crustle as a bug type also.
Yeah. And plus Crustal gets rocks,
He
it
gets
gets Shell Smash.
Yeah, Crustle's cool.
I
Crustle
love
can
Crustal.
stay. But I like this team. I like this team a lot.
I do too. It's a good balanced team.
Yeah.
A few changes will definitely make it more threatening.
Yeah, the speed's not 100% there, but Tapu Koko goes really fast. Darm G, like, listen, you slap a scarf on that thing, you're
You,
good.
you slap a scarf on it. Actually, you just need a scarf because whatever move you pick, you're going to be locked in because of guerrilla tactics.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised just because how crazy Devin seems if he does try to run Zen mode once or twice.
That would be interesting to see. I didn't run it last season, so I'd be curious to see it.
Yeah, but Gorilla Tactics is just so good.
It's broken.
Yeah, so like Darm G, you might as well consider being an overbase 100 just because like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna slap a scarf on it
And it's going to come in
and just
and
destroy.
so final grade, Alex. I give it a B. B
Really?
plus.
I'd give it a B plus. It's a solid B plus. Like I think the only thing he's missing is the speed, but it's a B plus. Like we've harped on a lot of other coaches for their lack of speed, but I don't think it's as big of a problem for him, despite the fact that he's not running a bulky offensive team like Allen is.
Let me double check something on Reggie Drago. Because I think his dragon type is going to be one of his Achilles heels.
Oh, is it not good? I don't know anything about I don't know anything about it.
I'm going to look up Reggie Drago.
Maybe it's a
Reggie
B.
Drago
Maybe the
is
speed is a problem actually.
So Reggie Drago has a base speed of 80, but it has a
Yeah,
base 200 HP, base 100 attack and special attack.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Its ability multiplies its dragon move by 1.5,
Oh, that's real good.
and it gets dragon energy, so more power. No, less power as the HP uses HP decrease, so like eruption.
Okay, that's pretty good. I didn't know that was a move.
Yeah, I remember playing against the Reggie Drago and it one shot me. I'm like, how did that do that? And then I was like, oh, Dragon Maul 1.5 plus Dragon Energy at full HP. I think what 1.5 times 150. So base 200 attack
Hmm.
with a scarf. Yeah, I think
Maybe B plus.
midway.
Maybe B plus.
Yeah, I think midway. When he comes up against some of these other teams that match his speed, it's going to become a little bit of a problem as far as breaking things.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. B maybe B plus, but like it's a good team on paper.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, now we get to move on to I believe this is the Pro Division. No, Diamond Division. First up is Lewis and the Garchamps. He drafted Necrozma Dawn Wings, Melmetal, Crescella, Hatterene, Porygon 2, Alolan Marowak, Copperajah, Appletoon, Kangaskhan, Octillery with Mega Mawile. Why does he have... He
Yeah,
has 3 Steel types, 3 Psychic types. He has a lot of type overlap.
yeah, yeah. He does.
I don't like his Water type.
His water type is awful. This is obviously this guy's trying to run Trick Room every week.
He has no choice but to.
He has to. Otherwise, he's gonna get fist fucked. I'm sorry. I don't know if you curse in D League. I think I've cursed a few times, but
You're fine.
but yeah. This team. I mean, Necrozma Dawnwings. It's cool. It's not good. It just dies to a knockoff, doesn't it?
It's not a good Uber.
And then you got that Cresselia, Hatterene, Marowak all weak to Ghost. And he's got two normal types in P2 and Kangaskhan.
He has no dragon type.
He's got Appleton.
I mean, but are you really running a dragon move on Appleton? Or are you going to run?
Listen, Appleton is a mon I will never ever use. I don't like it.
Yeah, he there's a lot he can fix with this team. I like Melmetal.
Melmetal's great. Melmetal
but
with Necrozma Dawnwings is... Actually, I don't know how I feel about that. But also, if you have Melmetal, why Mega Mawile? And Hatterene?
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, because he grabbed Dawnwings, so with him having Necrozma Dawnwings, he has access to the A tier megas, to which Mega Deoxys is still available.
Very good fairy.
Mega T-Tar still free. Mega Gyarados. Mega Sceptile.
Gyarados would be good for him. T-Tar would be good. Sceptile would be good. Well, Sceptile, he would have to drop... He'd drop Appleton, obviously. If he grabs Gyarados, he obviously drops Octillery. Actually, he doesn't have an electric type.
What else is free? Honestly, who's his T2? Hatterene and Cresselia? I would probably drop Cresselia. Rotom Wash is free.
Rotom Wash? Yeah, this guy should drop Rotom Wash, drop Octillery. You know what? Pick up Mega Sceptile and drop Appleton.
Do you think Nagandel would be good for his team? It's also a B Uber.
Yes. But that's also because Naganadel is just infinitely better than Necrozma Dawnwings is.
I mean, even Palkia would be an upgrade.
Palkia would be a great upgrade. Palkia would be really good for this team. I don't know. He's got no fighting type either. He's got no fighting type. He doesn't have a dark type, which is fine because he's not like whatever. Well, no, he needs a dark type because he's so weak to ghost and dark types.
No dark type, no fighting type.
Caparajah has no business being here.
He doesn't need it.
No, it's literally just a worse metal. It's just a worse metal. The only good thing about Caparajah is the amount of coverage it gets, but like Caparajah is just a waste of a tier 4 slot here. Octillery shit. He should grab a better water type.
He only has one ground immunity. Cresselia. It gets Levitate.
And he's got Melmetal, Marowak, Caparajah, and Mawile all weak to it.
And Marowak.
Yeah. Oh, and Marowak, yeah. Honestly, I would drop Mawile if you're going to have to use Melmetal. I think Mawile is really good, but they do the same thing. They're both physically offensive steel types. Like, yeah, maybe you're going to use Mawile as a fairy type as well, but isn't that what you want to use Hatterene for?
Probably. Hatterene's a good. I believe, isn't it? It's Psychic Fairy.
Yeah.
So Hatterene's a good Psychic Fairy. I know it has decent bulk. I think having multiple Psychic types is just overkill, because you're asking for your opponent to run, Sucker Punch, Pursuit, since they get Pursuit back.
Yeah.
He has a lot that can be fixed with this.
Yeah, I think this team is a problem. Would you say this is the worst one, or are all like the meh ones kind of at the same level?
No, this one is definitely, because the other three that have kind of been on the lower end are mainly because of speed or they don't have the offensive presence. This one has a much harder identity crisis to fix.
Because it's just missing types. It has way too many repeats. It doesn't know what it's doing. It's not supporting. This team doesn't support Mawile, Melmetal, or Necrozma, besides the Trick Room aspect to it.
Yeah, but even with the Trick Room aspect, when you use Trick Room, that means you're swapping into types that can cover each other. He has no type of coverage for any of his Trick Room mons.
Yeah. 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 So what would you give this team then?
I would give it a D. This would be the first D. Um, the types don't cover each other. At least with the other C teams, there were some type coverages. They had some type of identity and some type of offensive presence
And there's
that
a way to
wasn't
fix
immediately hindered.
and there are clear ways to fix the team. I think like with the other teams there have been like picks where like okay, this can go and this can come in and but I feel like this whole team just needs a complete overhaul.
hmm And he doesn't, and you only get 5 for the season. I
I
don't
hope
think
five's
you're gonna.
enough for him.
I don't think it will be. He would have to really sit down, write his team out, and kind of just look at like, okay, type coverages need to be fixed. You need some either if you're gonna do trick room, go trick room, build a nice balanced trick room or bulky trick room or hyper offensive trick room. But it needs a clear identity.
Yeah. I mean, just because this team is Trick Room doesn't mean that it's gonna win because it's Trick Room. Like, it does
Yeah,
not have like Melmetal is one of the only things offensively that this team has that does the you know,
trick room well.
that's gonna like come in and just punch holes in things.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, even with Mega Mawile is going to come in. He's going to Mega Evolve, and unless he immediately attacks or sword dances without getting hit, Mega Mawile is going to drop.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree D plus.
Yeah, I mean, I know I once people watch it and they kind of take a look at it, because you were coming from the main league, you were running up one season, you've been in the playoffs consistently. I think having your input's gonna really help these guys down here see like, okay, this is what they're seeing from the top, and this is what's gonna take to get me to that next level.
I hope so, because like I'm sincerely not trying to crap on anybody. I'm just trying to be objective and look at things on paper. Obviously, there are people who we've critiqued already that have the skill level to be in main league. You know, it's just
hmm
the fact of the matter that realistically we only promote 2 people a season, so only 2 people are going to get that call up. Doesn't matter how good they are. You know, Pokemon's a
Yep.
game of luck. It's just as much as it is skill. When it comes to Pokemon, you want to have it. You want to be in control as much as possible before the game even starts, so that the random stuff doesn't affect you as badly. And the first step to being in control of that is team composition.
I 100% agree. All right. Next in the division, we have Angel and the War Turtles. He has drafted Blacephalon, Zygarde 50%, Ninetales Alolan, Como-O, Zoroark, Gastrodon, Alolan Sandslash, Golbat, Pikachu, Ariados, and he also grabbed an S tier Mega and Mega Metagross. He's another that has a really bad ground weakness.
Yeah, Mega Metagross, Sandslash,
Blacephalon,
Pikachu.
Zoroark.
Listen, man, don't shit on Pikachu. Deshaun drafted it one season.
Look, I love Pikachu, but Scarf Mamoswine outspeeds it and kills it with an earthquake.
Here's the only thing, like I guess realistically he's not gonna bring Sandslash and Metagross to the same games, but like, man, you got fucking Metagross. There is no reason that thing should not be coming every single week. And if you want to bring Sandslash, that means you have to bring Ninetales, and that's 3 slots on your team accounted for every single week.
Yeah, so now I do want to say, Ninetales Alolan, Every time I see it's drafted, it does come, and this is just for anyone that I've seen use it. It always comes and immediately sets a Roar Veil, and then it dies.
Yeah, it does. You have to run it max HP, max defense. You just have to because it's so frail. Um, honestly, I mean, I have some opinions on this team, like doubling up on dragon types with Zygarde and Como. I don't agree with that. Having Blacephalon as well as Mega Metagross when they're as your two big guys when they're both weak to Dark, Ghost, and Ground. I don't think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Como and Zygarde, they're not the same Pokemon. They obviously, one's ground, one's fighting, but like, and Zygarde is more of is a better ground type than it is a dragon type. But like, you also have Gastron's good, but like, actually, we're not gonna forget Gastron because Gastron is way different. Doesn't have the ice weakness, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Two poison types in Golbat and Ariados. Like, I get what he's going for with picking up Ariados. He wants the webs. He picked the absolutely worst web setter.
Mm-hmm.
Golbat is interesting. It is really, really bulky. The problem is you need to run Eviolite on it, and
If you run Eviolite, then
you
you
can't
can't run
run
Boots.
Boots. Sandslash, I get it. Again, the removal's good, but like, it's gonna get overshadowed by Metagross. Just straight up, it's also got 2 4x weaknesses, which is not good.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually got a lot of Pokemon with 4x weaknesses. He's got Zygarde, Ninetales, Como, Gastrodon, Sandslash. That's a lot of 4x weaknesses.
And Zoroark.
Zoroark is a single type. You can't have a 4x weakness.
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense.
But he does
I
have
was trying to
fairy,
think
he
of
does have a fairy weakness between Zygarde, Como, and Zoroark. Although, he's got Metagross and
and
Sandslash
Sandslash.
and Golbat. I don't know. I think I applaud the desire to do the hail stuff. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it fits with this team because of Mega Metagross. I think this team would benefit from a better fairy type. I think it would benefit from pick a dragon that you want to keep between Zygarde and Como. Although I did, I did earlier say it's good to have a physical and a special dragon. So, maybe they can stay for now, actually. But like, I think Blacephalon needs to go. I think you like is Victini still on the board? This team, like,
Well, so Victini isn't free. The only fire types in tier 1 that are still free are Heatran, Volcarona. Yeah, those are the only two
grab
fire types in
Volcarona.
tier
Pick up
1.
Volcarona. No, honestly, pick up Volcarona. It's a special fire type that isn't weak to Dark and Ghost or Ground.
Mm-hmm.
It can set up better.
And it gets coverage for a lot of its weaknesses.
Yeah, especially with this team, like if Angel had Volcarona and he was able to set up a lot, he would do that. That would be a scary team. I
So
think
what do you
try. Let him try the 2 dragons, but I think he needs to get rid of Blacephalon in the Hail Core.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a better
Or
fairy.
at least, yeah, I'd say the fairy is probably the biggest thing.
The fairy, and if he drops the fairy, if he swaps out the fairy, he needs to get rid of Sandslash because it's worthless without the hail. Besides rapid spinning, I guess.
But I mean, at that point, there are other mods that you can get that can rapid spin.
Exactly.
So what do you rate the team? I'm thinking C.
I'd say C plus.
Maybe.
Like,
it has problems, but it's not.
It has problems, but it's not
unsavable.
It's completely fixable. The team can totally be salvaged, and I just think there's a couple things, but I think ultimately, like, there's a lot of good. I think there's also a lot of it. Maybe a C. Maybe a C. Now that I'm looking at it a bit more, because I mentioned it, like 3 Mon's got to change. Fuck. Man, actually, he might need more than 5 changes too.
Um, honestly, I think four good solid ones that once he looks at the tier list would get
Yeah,
him where he needs.
yeah. I was well, yeah, four because the three that I've mentioned, and then like change up maybe Ariados or Pikachu.
Because I mean, again, Galvantula is still there. He doesn't have an electric type.
He's got Pikachu. What are you talking about? He's got Light Ball Pikachu.
But I mean, who are you gonna choose? Light Ball Pikachu or Galvantula?
Hey man, Ariados can just set. You know what, Angel? Before you make any of these switches, I want you to set up webs and sweep with Light Ball Pikachu. Then you can switch. Well, then you can do
If
the
he does that,
switches.
I
Then you
will.
can do additional switches. Please do the three that I suggested. It could. You need a better fairy type. You need your fire type should be something that doesn't share all the same weaknesses as Mega Metagross. And if you're getting rid of Ninetales, you can get rid of Sandslash. Um, but that's what do I know?
Next, we have Damon and the Middletown Mimikyus. This is Deshaun's son.
Yeah,
He drafted. This is where Mewtwo went.
yeah. This
We
is
have
where Mewtwo
we have
went.
Mewtwo, Garchomp,
Garchomp.
Skarmory, Nihilego, Cloyster, Snorlax, Gallade, Aromatisse, Kanto, Rapidash, Mawile, and Mega Man Netric. Thoughts?
Uh, decent coverage. This is a slow team aside from Manectric and Garchomp.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. Not Nihilego base whatever. It's over 100. And Mewtwo obviously. Of course. Okay, it's not as slow as I was saying. This is a good team. This is actually a pretty good team though.
Mhm.
You know, like we were talking on Mewtwo before, but like Mewtwo is good. Like have you ever been wrecked by Mewtwo? Like that hasn't mega? Because I have.
No, I've tried it and it does break through things. My only issue is a lot of things get Dark Pulse or Sucker Punch or some variation that renders Mewtwo next to useless.
I guess, but you're gonna find that with a lot of psychic types. I don't know. I think he's got good stuff to support it. You know, Skarmory supports it pretty well. Snorlax supports it pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, and then Garchomp as his other, he's got good things to support Garchomp with Mawile. You know, the having the two steel types as well as two fairies is but like maybe Mawile could be replaced for something else.
I mean, I love Aromatisse. Aromatisse is
Aromatisse
one
is
of the
really
one
good.
of the.
Good value. It
I
is
wonder
good
if
value.
Florges was available. Is
Um,
Florges?
I feel like well, I know he really wanted Skarmory and the Ultra Beast.
Yeah.
And he also and I believe he had wanted Chansey and Blissey over Snorlax, but that got taken.
Honestly, I'm glad he didn't get. I'm glad he got Snorlax because Curselax is still a thing.
Yeah, and other than the Stealth Rocks, there would have been overlap between Aromatisse and Blissey anyway.
Yeah, for the cleric.
Yeah. Cloyster's a good pick here. Does a lot of different things. It can be defensive, it can be offensive, physical, special. Can trap. It can trap.
And he has a fast electric type with Intimidate. That can't be understated.
Yeah. Yeah. Mega Man X is really good, especially with hidden powers.
So it's definitely a balanced team. Probably as the season wears on, he has Kanto Rapidash, which in its own right is nice and has a good attack stat. Little on the little less defensive side, but I'm sure as the season wears on, things will probably come available that he can replace it with. But it's a really balanced team.
It's a good
I
balanced
would give
team.
this.
Good speed.
I'd give it a B.
I'd say it's a B plus. It's a B plus. I'm interested to see what he does with Mewtwo. I feel like how the team supports Mewtwo is going to be what makes or breaks the team. But he also has,
Hmm.
but Mewtwo is not his only win con, since he does have Garchomp, he does have his Ultra Beast, he can Curse Last, he can do stuff with Snorlax and stuff.
Speed. He's gonna have to control the speed of the battle.
Yeah, he is.
All right, rounding off the division is your lovely, lovely fiance Alyssa and her leopards. Um, she drafted the Soul Galio. God, that name is weird. Just saying it. Hydreigon, Mimikyu, Cinderace Blaze, Minshao, Vaporeon, Wobbuffet, Heliolisk, Liepard, Lycanroc Midnight, and Mega Venusaur. We talked about it during the draft. She drafted a really solid DFS core.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Solgaleo, Hydreigon, Mimikyu, super good. I know that she wanted Sylveon, and looking at this team, I would rather that she had Sylveon,
Uh-huh.
just because you don't want Solgaleo and Mimikyu sharing that ghost weakness,
Yeah.
especially also having Wobbuffet on there.
Hmm.
But she's got good bulk anyway with Mega Venusaur. Hydreigon can be really bulky, and people just forget that.
Hmm.
So Galio can be really bulky. It is really bulky. Vaporeon, obviously.
Yeah. I would say the only thing that stands out to me is she does have some of her other pieces that are weak to ground. Um,
Yes.
I, I know I'm gonna just call it Soul. Soul is weak to ground.
2,
Um,
3, 4.
Lycanroc, Liepard,
Cinderace, yeah,
Mimikyu
like
is neutral. Yeah, those are big. They're not detrimental, but it is something that someone could take advantage of.
yeah. Um yeah. The ground weaknesses are rough. Hydreigon at least can come in and levitate. Uh, you
But
know,
now you're worried about if that ground type has rocks, and does Hydreigon have anything to take out that ground, whoever's using the ground move at the moment?
well, yeah. I mean, I'm not really worried about Hydreigon in that regard because Hydreigon, it's got really good coverage moves. Gen 8, it got both Dragon Dance and Nasty Plot.
Ooh, yeah. And she has Shadow Tag.
She's got
Shadow
Shadow
Tag
Tag and
shenanigans.
Ubers, with Ubers allowed. So Boba Fett's going to be really good for that. All
I,
she's got to do is
I'm
figure out what
curious.
doesn't like, what she can't handle, and then just Boba Fett it.
I am curious to see how Shadow Tag works with Ubers this season. Because it's been a while since we've had Shadow Tag allowed in the league.
Yeah.
With with having Pursuit back and Return back, there's going to be a lot of. I sense like week one we're going to see a lot of people using Pursuit.
Yeah. What
So
else can I say about this? You know, got the mascot pick. I'm not too sure how much Liepard's gonna do because she does have Hydreigon, but it
it
could
does
be
get
it.
Prankster.
It's
I think
got
it's more of a
prankster
Prankster thing.
utility. It's gonna be prankster utility, and that's gonna be good. Um, you know, good removal. Got court change with Cinderace. Well, actually, no, she's only not good removal because her only removal right now, her only removal is court change with Cinderace. But also, besides Cinderace, this team doesn't really care about taking rocks damage.
No, it doesn't.
No, like Solgaleo resists it. Mega Venusaur doesn't care. Heliolisk kind of cares. Vaporeon kind of cares. Mienshao, whatever. Actually, good speed. Well, yeah, between Cinderace, Mienshao, and Heliolisk, good speed. Uh, we've talked about what Hydreigon can do. Solgaleo is a great Scarfer. It can Flame Charge. Mimikyu is a crazy good setup. Come on. Lycanroc Midnight, it's not good. It's the worst Lycanroc. It's in tier 5 for a reason, but it's bulky.
Hmm.
It's bulkier than people give it credit for.
Like I said, a lot of people run. Is it midday or
They'll run midday and dusk.
I know Dusk gets a lot of play.
Yeah, midday is still pretty good. Midnight, truth be told, it was like I think it was just that she needed something that could click rocks if she wanted to. She needed something. She just needed like it was more for type coverage and for hazards than anything else for this pick. If I just looking at this team, 'cause it was her last pick.
Yeah, but it's definitely a solid B.
Yeah, I'd give
Um,
it a B. You know, no biases aside, like her cores are covered. Great Mega, great Uber B.
Now we move on to our final division. We're almost there. First up is Tyler in the Orlando Magikarps. He has Kyogre, Rillaboom, Alex, Rotomwash,
Oh, Rotom
Nidoking.
isn't available.
No, I just saw that it was taken. Nidoking, Darmanitan, Licklicky, Sneasel, Cherubug, Galarian Stunfisk with Mega Altaria. So two fairies, two water types.
Now this
I
is
mean,
where I like the idea of having Mega Altaria and another dragon because Altaria is gonna realistically it's really more a fairy than it is a dragon.
hmm
I don't like pairing Mega Altaria with Sylveon because those two are way too similar.
especially though they have the same ability.
Yeah, they both have Pixelate. The only difference between Sylveon and Mega Altaria is that Mega Altaria can also be run physically. They can both go defensive or special defensive. They can both sweep on the special side. Obviously, you know, Mega Altaria famously has Cotton Guard and Sylveon doesn't, but like I don't know. I think he's gonna end up dropping one of them. I don't like having them both. Because Mega Altaria
hmm
as a dragon, Mega Altaria is not that great, but as a fairy, it's really good.
And I mean, with the immunity to Dragon and losing, making their ice weakness instead of 4x to 2x does help it.
Oh yeah. Let's look at the rest of this team though. Kyogre's cool. I kind of feel like if he's gonna draft Kyogre, I'd like to see him lean more into the rain aspect.
Well, I mean, that's the main reason for drafting it. I mean,
He's
he
got
has
no
no
other.
one to
He's
abuse it.
yeah, like Rotom Wash is cool, but like I feel like
I
you
would have
should
grabbed Barraskewda.
yeah grab Barraskewda and then get a different electric type.
Maybe
Well, no, he does.
Gabuntula.
He's got Charge-a-Bug. He's got Charge-a-Bug, and Charge-a-Bug can set webs, but like
Oh,
and
Charger Bug
Stunfisk.
is
Why do you have three electric types? Why do you have three? I get it. Stunfisk, Steel type, whatever. You no, that's a 4 times weakness to ground. No, don't do that. Wait, is Stunfisk an electric type? Is Stunfisk G-electric or is it ground steel?
let's check.
It might actually be
Stunfisk.
ground steel. I think it's actually ground steel, and I'm being stupid. I'm sorry, Tyler. You have two electric types. I still don't think Stunfisk is good though.
Yeah, Stunfisk G is ground steel. Um, its special defense is 84 and its regular defense is 99.
What's its
Base
HP?
109.
Okay, you know what? That's not awful. Okay, Stunfisk can stay, but like Charge Bug and Rotom, I don't know.
Pick one.
Also, like Sneasel is the only thing this team has that's over base 100 speed.
Yeah, I mean, Rillaboom gets priority, so that's the only reason.
Rillaboom gets priority, yeah, and Licky and I don't know. I don't know. I was going to a different direction. Licky and Sneasel and
Actually,
like
isn't Darm base 100?
no 95.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. If this team doubles up on water types, it shouldn't be Rotom Wash. It should be it should be a Swift Swimmer. Although I guess he doesn't. I guess he. But then again, the one good thing about Rotom Wash is Tyler has put himself in a situation where he doesn't have to rely on rain every week.
Mm,
Where if he brings Kyogre, he automatically has to bring that second water type. He has put himself in a position where he doesn't have to bring Kyogre every week, and that's good because this team's not reliant on it. I don't know. Like it's
I
a
mean, I
good
could
team.
see him.
The speed is my
I could
issue.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him dropping. I could see him dropping Kyogre for a different A tier Mega. I mean, A tier Uber.
Yeah,
I mean, he could pick up Yveltal, and that'll give him more bulk.
and then you could drop Sneasel.
hmm And
Like, Sneasel's
what
good, don't
what
get me
type
wrong.
is he? What type is he really missing?
He does not have a psychic type, which is fine. He doesn't have a ghost
hmm
type. He doesn't have a fighting type.
So I mean, he could pick up Dusclops in tier 4. Hitmonchan's there.
Hitmonchan would be really good.
Um,
He's got decent hazard removal, Rotom Wash and Mega Altaria,
hmm
but basically if one doesn't have it, then the other does.
Yeah.
And his team does need it because Darm takes that 25%, Altaria takes that damage until it Mega Evolves. Sneasel is weak to it, Charjabug is weak to it. And with Charjabug, he wants to set up webs, and there's a common of people not picking up spinners when they're going to do webs. I don't get that one. I
So
mean,
what do you rank this team?
it's a solid B.
Solid B.
It's a solid B. The electric types aside, to me, the only thing that's really holding us back from going higher is the speed.
That seems to be the reoccurring theme that a lot of teams have. It's speed.
Yeah, I think you need to pay attention to your speed tiers because this is not a Trick Room team. Only having Sneasel as your only Pokemon above base 100 is not good.
hmm
Like Mega Altaria, great Pokemon. If that thing doesn't get a Dragon Dance up, it can't do anything when it's offensive. Kyogre
Nope.
is fat, but it's base 90. Rillaboom, Grassy Glider bust. Darm is probably going to have to be Scarfed. Nidoking's probably going to... Nidoking is... I am quickly learning that I think Nidoqueen is better just because it can actually live a few hits.
Nidoking is all attack or bust.
Yeah, whereas Nidoqueen you can actually afford to run Adamant or Modest. I don't know. That's just... I think the speed is going to hold this team back. He's got good bulk with Sylveon, Rotom Wash, Licky Licky, Mega Altaria. That's really good bulk. But I just feel like you got good heavy hitters in Kyogre and Rillaboom and Sylveon, Nidoking. But if you're not gonna, you need to make sure that you can speed. And I guess that that's why he picked Charjabug, because he saw the speed issue. You know what? I'm gonna lay off a little bit. It's still a B, but that's mostly because your websiter's Charjabug.
Okay.
You know what? I take back most of the speed comments because yes, you do have a sticky web, and that's definitely why you picked Charjabug. But Charjabug's not a good Pokemon. it lives with Eviolite and whatnot. I don't know. I'd still say it's a B. It's still a B for me.
So then let's go ahead and move on to next will be Colin and the Infernal Blazers. He drafted Protein Greninja, Scizor, Conkeldurr, Rotom Heat, Crocodile, Crobat, Jolteon, Rhydon, Butterfree, Clefairy with the Mega Gardevoir.
This is a good team actually. He's got good speed. The only picks I don't like are Rotom and Clefairy. I think he could have grabbed a better fire type.
I actually don't like the Rhydon pick.
Rhydon's... What don't you like about... Oh, because it overlaps with the Crook and Crook's better?
Well, not so much that it overlaps with Crook. Rhydon's niche is normally it's going to come in, set up rocks, and I think does Rhydon get solid rock?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it doesn't.
Oh, I believe it gets lightning rod.
It does get lightning rod, but you're not gonna. Who cares?
You're not going to need it for this team. Yeah, no, there's no point for Rhydon because you have Crook.
Rhyperior would have been a better pickup for this team. Well, maybe just not a rock. Actually, Butterfree is kind of questionable as well because he's got Scizor.
Mm-hmm.
I just really, really like his Uber through Tier 3. Honestly, for me, this team is weird because I just don't like Rotom on this team. Although Rotom is fine, but I would like something that's more fire than electric type because
Yeah.
because Jolteon's really good. And then I'm
I mean,
not a
he's
big
got
fan
great
of
physics.
Butterfree and Clefairy. I think Clefairy is useless because you have Mega Gardevoir.
Yeah.
But he's got good speed. He's got Greninja base 120, whatever. Jolteon's base 130. Conkeldurr has its priority. So does Scizor. Crocodile's versatile as hell. He's got Crobat base 130, who's also very versatile. I do feel like one thing this team lacks is definitively like good fast offense.
Mm-hmm.
With Mega Gardevoir, it's its best fast offense, and that base 100 speed, I don't think that's all that good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even with having Protein Greninja, if you're having to rely solely on that to do all of your attacking or even a lot of pivoting, Protein Greninja is great. It's still slightly fragile. I think
Yeah.
it'll maybe survive a hit.
Yeah. Maybe. I will say one thing that he's definitely got going for him. He's got really good removal options. He's got like 4 defoggers on this team. Like that's really good. Gives him a lot of options. Nothing on this team is gonna get locked into being a defogger.
Oh yeah. I mean, overall, it's a pretty balanced offensive team.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely could see him. He has enough attackers to break walls and kind of keep momentum on his side, and he has enough pivots that
Oh
he
yeah.
doesn't really get locked in.
Oh yeah. I could.
on-
I like this team for him. I have my issues primarily with his tier 5s and Rotom. There aren't that many good fire types, so whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
it's primarily his tier 5s and maybe the Rhydon are the issue.
Mm.
But like
But I
honestly,
mean,
this is a pretty solid team.
I give it a B plus.
Yeah, I would too. I would too.
Yeah, it's definitely really really well built. All
Yeah.
right. Next up, we have Max and the Grand Bulls, who drafted Marshadow, Victini, Hippowdon, Tangrowth, Tentacruel, Espeon, Toxicroak, Scyther, Shuckle, Pimimikyu, and Mega Pinsir. It's a little weird. I
It's
don't
a little
see
weird.
how Mega. I mean, Mega Pinsir is mainly priority.
Pinsir's really good. I think I think Toxicroak has to go. Just straight up
Yeah,
Toxicroak.
because he already has a fighting type.
He's got and he already has and a poison type.
Yeah.
Toxicroak, sorry bud, Toxicroak has to go. Um, I like the Hippowdon Tangrowth core alongside Tentacruel.
Oh yeah.
I like that
Especially
he's
since
got
Tentacruel gets
Shuckles. I
liquidy.
like that he has Shuckle to set up web so that Pinsir doesn't always have to click Quick Attack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would I
And he has rapid spin on Tentacruel.
Yeah, he's got Rapid Spin on Tentacruel.
Magic Bounce on Espeon.
Defog on Scyther. Um, I would be remiss. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't say this. Marshadow and Victini both sharing the Dark and Ghost weakness. Not great. Not
And
ideal.
ground.
Yeah, but Marshadow's not weak to ground.
Oh, true.
Like that's not ideal, but at least like I don't know. I guess it's a similar issue that the coach with Metagross and Bocephalon has.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just think the Victini's just so much better than Bocephalon.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's definitely a much better, and it can be defensive. You can't make Blacephalon defensive.
No. Mega Pinsir is just. Ooh, wait. Scyther might need to go because it's literally the same type as Mega Pinsir. Honestly, I think Max's team is actually pretty good. I think he needs to fix his tier 4s. I like what he's thinking with Pyukumuku, but I kind of think he needs a better water type. Wait, he's got
Well,
Tentacruel.
he already has
Yeah,
Tentacruel.
drop Pyukumuku. You got Tentacruel. Fix your tier 4s and Pyukumuku, and this is a pretty good team. Like, Marshallow's really fast, Espeon's really fast, Mega Pinsir. Oh, wait. You know what? Maybe do drop Victini, actually.
Why?
He's got Espeon also.
Well, he doesn't have a fire type.
Yeah.
Are you really running Victini as your psychic type?
Pick up Heatran. He doesn't have a steel type.
That's true. That's very true.
I think Heatran would be really good with this team. I think Heatran would be really good on this team, actually.
It would be. Yeah.
I think, honestly, I think if he swaps Victini for Heatran and then changes up Pyukumuku, Scyther, and Toxicroak, Pyukumuku could probably stay. We saw Alyssa has Wobbuffet as her trapper, as well as having Solgaleo, and that's doubling up on Psychic Types. Pyukumuku could probably stay. I think primarily just the tier 4s need to change.
Yeah.
The tier 4s and Victini, I would probably change out Victini.
And pick up Heatran.
I like Heatran for this team quite a bit, actually. He's got a good amount of fighting resists. He's got Mega Pinsir, he's got Tentacruel, he's got Espeon, he's got Marshadow to be immune. He's got Tangrowth to eat the ground hit.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? B plus. It's.
I would give it a B plus, and this is gonna sound weird because I've named a few changes that need to be made to this team, but Victini for Heatran is one thing. I don't think it's that necessary. He doesn't have a steel type, but he could just, if he really is set on keeping Victini, he could drop one of his tier. If he swaps out the tier 4s, he could pick up a steel type in tier 4. I think the fact that the drops I'm suggesting are so low tier, Victini aside as a possibility, I don't think it hinders him quite as much as some of the other suggestions we've made and some of my other critiques that I've made.
I mean, Fortress is still there.
Yeah, but then that's another bug type.
But, I mean, Fortress is a spinner.
Yeah, that's true. Fortress would be cool on this team. And it would give him a steel type. And
yeah.
Fortress might actually be a good replacement for Scyther.
I've run counter Fortress.
Yeah, you have.
And I've survived a lot.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I'd do that. Yeah, I think the tweaks this team needs are
minor.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That puts it at a B because I've suggested maybe a B minus, B minus, B minus, B minus. I don't know, because I've put teams that I didn't give clear-cut suggestions to at a B plus. I've given teams where I've just said this is just a fine team, a B. So if I give you suggestions, I think that probably just puts you at a B minus automatically, right? That's pretty fair to say,
that's
right?
fair. Yeah, that's definitely fair.
Yeah. If I gave anybody else suggestions before this, and I said that they were above a B minus, like a B or a B plus, you can change it to a B minus. It's late. It's almost 1 a.m. for me.
Yeah, we have one more, and then...
No, I'm just saying, I'm a little tired. I might be whatever, but I'm going to say, if I have to give you suggestions, clear-cut suggestions, where I can tell you what needs to go, it's probably a B minus. Unless they're really minor, then it's a B. But, we had the Liepherds, and I gave them a B. And I didn't have any clear-cut suggestions, mostly because of, the way that team is built, and the tiers you're working with, and some of the and the good stuff, and it's tough,
Well, we are finally to our last person, Stewart, in the New Zealand Kings, who drafted Reshiram, Lando T, Togekiss, Amoonguss, Vikavolt, Slowking Johto, Aggron, Sableye, Leafeon, Persian K, and Mega Medicham. Now, I will say, They did make a change. They are dropping Leafeon for Glaceon. It will be added to the dock more than likely tomorrow when I go through for the midweek changes.
I would wait
Um,
until he plays his game because that way you don't confuse his week one
it doesn't
player.
mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait until after that game's played.
So, thoughts on the team?
This is a good trick room. Not trick room team. I mean, yeah, it's a good trick room team. He's got webs. I actually don't know how I feel about this team having webs.
I don't think it needs it.
It doesn't need it because his team is almost too slow for the webs to matter. Except for Reshiram, Lando, and Togekiss and Metacham, this team is too slow for the webs he's setting to matter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good team. It's a good team. Like, what's it? Fairy Dragon Steel, Reshiram, Togekiss, Aggron. Solid. Firewater Grass, Reshiram, Amoonguss, Slowking. I was like, wait, yeah, I almost missed Slowking for a second. That's pretty good. Slowking is stupid in Gen 8. Like, it's straight up stupid. Good utility in Sableye. You know, he's got good removal options. Lando can remove, Togekiss can remove. Actually, that's about it. Unless Vigavolt can remove. I don't know if Vigavolt removes. Persian's the only thing he's got over base 100 speed, which isn't great. But this team doesn't really care about outspeeding things because this is another bulky offense team.
Mm-hmm. And it actually has the offensive presence to kind of back up whatever it's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think about the team?
I love Mega Metacham. I don't think it gets enough play in general.
It does not.
Amoonguss, Togekiss, and Lando T have always been issues just in any generation they've been in. They're gonna pose problems for teams when they come to build, mainly because anything they bring in, whatever Togekiss can't kill, Lando can.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the ice weakness that he does have,
Lando, Togekiss, Amoonguss. But he's got things that resist, like
Mega Metacham.
He's only got one thing that resists, two things that resist in Slowking and Aggron.
But I mean, anyone
when he picks it.
But I mean, anything that brings any type of ice move more than likely can be punished by Mega Metacham. Because I don't think there's much that swaps into a pure power anything.
No. I can tell you from personal experience that not much can swap into pure power from Metacham.
So I think he has all his bases covered. I'd probably maybe look at his tier 3s and tier 4s, see if he can upgrade those a bit. I don't know what Vicavolt's role is.
I mean, if it's hard, it hits hard and it sets webs.
So webs that seems to be the general consensus for the bugs is webs.
Yeah.
I would probably, if again another suggestion, if anyone can get to it, I would probably pick up Gavantula.
Yeah,
because Gavantula gets compound eyes.
Yeah, a compound house thunder ain't nothing to fuck with.
Nope. And it gets compound eyes, it gets swarm. So I mean even bug buzzes from it.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean it's a solid team.
This is one of the better teams. This is definitely one of the better teams.
So what are we thinking?
I can give this an A-.
Yeah, I can agree with you. The changes we suggested are honestly, they're purely out of just what we know would work.
Just personal preference.
Yeah.
Like, it's an A-. Maybe it's an A. I don't know. Is it weird? Because, like, if we give this an A, then that makes this the best team. Do you think this is the best team?
Actually, I think we gave another team.
We gave another team A-.
All of our A minus, all of the teams that we gave A minuses to were pretty good teams. We
I,
gave an A minus to the Metals
yeah, this
because
isn't better
they're
than
a
the
balanced
medals.
bolt,
This is not better than the medals.
and we gave an A minus to the Knights, a B plus A minus to the Knights
I'd say it's on par
who
with
had
them.
a
I'd say
turn.
it's in the it's I'd say it's an A minus.
Okay,
You
so
know,
but the Metals by far are an A.
yeah, I think I'm gonna scroll back to it. I think I mean the way Allen built the team, the medals is not my play style whatsoever. I would not have fun playing that team.
But breaking it is
But
going to
I
be
also you know what? Okay. So I'm gonna take back what I said earlier about if I have to give you suggestions, you're automatically a B minus because that Allen's team is not a B minus.
hmm
Like all I said was drop Dottler.
Yeah.
This is definitely at least an A minus. Could even be an A. What about the Slayers? The Knights?
The Knights were the other B
What did we
plus
have to
A minus
say
team.
in I was gonna say now that I've seen the other teams, I might change my opinion and make it just straight up an A minus, but I look back again and I see the speed thing and
I think that was the issue with his. He has the attack because
but he
Eternus,
also but then again he has the web with Araquanid.
and he has Mega Gallade to abuse with Eternus.
So maybe this isn't a B plus, maybe it is just an A minus team. No, it's an A minus team. It's an A minus. If the live hards are a B, then the Knights are an A minus.
So that'll also make the Kings an A minus.
Yeah, but I think the Kings are an A minus.
Okay.
I think the Kings are an A minus. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could. No, the live hards are a solid B. They get a solid B. Like I'm using them as my measuring stick just because like the team is good. There's obviously ways to make it better, but with the draft
hmm
pool and the things that are available, I don't know how you make that team better without completely dismantling it.
Yeah,
Like,
but
like the
yeah,
yeah, it's
so we've given 3 A's out of
well A
16
minuses.
coaches.
Nobody got above an only three coaches got above a B plus. No one got an A or an A plus.
No.
And I think giving the Knights the medals and the Kings A minuses is I think that's the right ranking.
Yeah, they have really, really good teams. And again, coaches, this isn't everything we say is purely subject to your own interpretation. Alex has been in the main league. Alex has never touched the D League. And if you go back to the NPBF history tab, Alex has been in the playoffs since his induction and actually won a season. Um, so this is the caliber of what it takes to get to the main league and be successful. Of course, we're looking purely at the teams. Of course, as the season progresses, we're going to see those that know what they're doing thrive and those that might need a little help kind of stumble a bit.
Yeah, but that's why
But
we're in D League. We're here to learn and we're D League. We're here to learn and we're here to have fun.
yep, if you're not having fun, then I would recommend taking a break like I have.
Yeah.
I will not be playing this season. I will be watching, spectating, and rooting you guys on. But thank you, Alex, for this. I know it's late for you. I know all the guys in D League are going to thoroughly enjoy your input. Um,
I hope so. I hope
some
none
may
of you take it
even.
personally.
I'm pretty sure some are going to be shooting to, come after you when they reach main league.
Yeah, well, I got a target on my back. I think for most people that come into main league anyway. So
But with that being said, this has been Nate. Thank you guys once again, and looking forward to spectating the season. You guys have a great evening.